goes. Yeah, we'll get a knife. Ooh. We'll do it inside. Alright, let's open some stuff. Ooh, a little bit gummy. So, some exciting stuff has got here, and I'm pretty excited about it. That's right, my Ninja Turtle t-shirt has finally arrived. Check out that cool sticker. But that's not really what I'm excited about here. So they're literally building a house out the back of, they've just like knocked down a house behind our house. So they're basically building a whole new house there. So it's pretty noisy at the moment. I've been sort of avoiding it, plus doing a lot of editing for the island trip. So I didn't get around to opening these all week. They've just been sitting there burning a hole in the garage roof, I guess. And I knew what was in the packages, but I didn't want to open them till I was ready to film. And I had things edited up and I was ready to go with other videos and things were out of the way. Unfortunately, I just didn't get them in time because I wanted to do these videos before I started the next island trip and start using them, but unfortunately they didn't quite get here in time. So let's get them all out of the box. So we've got a 5,000, a 4,500. So these two are my main workhorses that I use the most on the kayak and on the trips. Definitely use the 4,500 on all those boat trips recently, usually using a Clash, but sometimes a Slammer. In the kayak, obviously these are the game-changing reel, for me especially because I've ruined so many reels. I can ruin just about any reel, but Slammers just keep on going. The Slammer III is legendary for being able to take the punishment. And they've also sent this one. Let's just give it a little... And this is the new addition to the family. And it was a much wanted size for a lot of people. I was happy, a lot of the offshore fishing I do, I don't really go down to this size reel, but I'm more than happy to get my hands on one and give it a go. And this is the 2,500. And it's a very special little reel, if it's anything like its older brothers. So let's get it out. Obviously you've got your instructions and your washers. If anyone doesn't know how to use these, look it up and make sure you do know how to use them, because once you're putting your line on, if your line lays sort of thick at the bottom or the top, that's how you adjust it. Let's tighten this up. I will probably leave this on this side for me, even though I can cast with both sides. Everyone asks me why I don't have my handle on the other side. I guess it makes sense because you're clicking and casting, you get more casts in per session, and you end your hand straight on the handle instantly to get that drag or to wind and keep the pressure on. But honestly, I think it's a case of one, I cast with both sides, so it doesn't really matter for me. I am right-handed. I feel more comfortable winding this way, and it's also a case of old habits die hard. I think a lot of Aussies are into the habit of casting and then switching, casting and then switching. However, I write with my left, but say I do things like sports, or this is probably my right is probably my stronger arm. But yeah, it's all over the shop. Oh, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? So this is the 2,500. You know what? It seems like the drag pressure on this is so heavy. Max drag is 20 pounds, so 9.1 kilos. As long as it holds enough line for snapper, this thing will be a beast. I think I might have a go at getting some snapper with this guy and see how he works out. But it's a very cool little reel. And if it's anything like, yeah, its bigger brothers, the waterproofing is going to be a game changer. I might even, oh, you know what? Maybe even casting for some tailor and just some small guys around there and in the surf. Maybe that's what we could do tomorrow morning. I think the weather's going to be all right. What I might do, I'm going to put some line on this, and maybe tomorrow morning we're going to hit the water. We'll go down, maybe just and walk along the beach, have a cast. Even if we don't get anything, it'll be fun to get it in the water. We'll dip it in the water, wind it a bit, show them what it's really made of and why these reels are so special, and we'll check back in. But I'm very excited, and we've got some new rods here as well. Oh. Falling everywhere. What do we got? at that. These are the new regiment rods. This is 8 to 15 kilos. So this is obviously to be paired with the 5,500. What's this one here? See if we can see through here. That one's the 6 to 10. So this one is typically, the 6 to 10 is what I would use for the 4,500. Okay, what's this one here? I'm interested to see what these two smaller rods are. Hopefully there's one slightly heavier and one slightly lighter, because that 2,500 is a multi sort of capable reel. So that's a 4 to 8 kilo, perfect. And how long's that? It is, these are cool. I like these. That's a cool feature. Something so simple, but anytime you're breaking down two-piece rods, you never have the little Velcro just to hold them together. Something so simple makes a big difference. I'll definitely use those. Two-piece, so it goes in there. What have we got here? See if we can get it to focus. Of course, GoPros do not focus very well. But this is the 4 to 8 kilo rod, and it's 7.2. So this will do very nicely for a bit of casting with some slightly heavier fish. And then we've got another two-piece, so good for traveling around for me. And this one's a bit lighter again, at 3 to 6 kilos. Part of the reason why I think everyone notices that I usually use Veritas rods, which is the Abu Garcia. The reason why I switched to those rods was simply because I just couldn't find the range, or the range of rods in all the different sizes and actions that I really wanted in the Penn range that was out at that time. That was such a heavy offshore focus and maybe more of a boat focus. I just couldn't find all those little increments. There was a pretty good selection of, like, the Ocean Assassins rods were good, but the rods were good, but they didn't have the smaller increments, especially for my snapper fishing, that I wanted. And I just couldn't find just quite the right pairing that really suited what I was doing. So now what they've done is they've actually expanded the regiment range. So there's heaps and heaps of different sizes to choose from now. And I've managed to find, like, sort of my equivalent in a Penn rod. So it's going to be nice to actually have a Penn rod and a Penn reel paired together. So looking forward to that. Very nice. This is going to be the workhorse. This one and the 5,000. I'll definitely get the 2,000 into action as well, but this 4,500 has become a very, very, like, a favoured reel in my collection. But I think what we really need to do is hit the water. Get the keys in, put that in there, get our fancy new rods in. We managed to rig them all up. So, and it's a beautiful day, which is good because I was a bit worried. So obviously the fishing off the beach was a big fat fail. I just could not get a fish no matter what I did. So we've given up and we're turning back to the original of why these reels are so good for me in the first place. The surf is down. It went up to 1.5 meter swell last night, and I was a bit, like, wary, especially since the old shoulder. So 1.5 meter is normally not too much to worry about, but ever since the shoulder dislocation, I'm pretty wary about it, and I don't want to go back to square one. So look at that. This is a big lull now, though. This looks very nice. If we can get a little launch like this and just shoot straight out that way, we'll be looking good. Anyway, let's get out there and see if we can actually get some of these reels turning over with fish on them. We've got the whole gamut. We got the full size range that I was sent, So hopefully we'll get some liveys, we'll get out there, we'll get some snapper, do a bit of soft plastic flicking, and we'll have a livey out the back, and hopefully we can get a bigger fish. You never know what could be sort of shooting around. The water is warming up a little. It's not really mackerel season, but hopefully we can find something. This camera is a bit weird. This battery pack, if I don't have the camera on, it starts charging the battery pack from the camera, so it's just a nightmare. But I think it's working now, so let's click it on. Yes, all right. How's the wind? The wind was blowing 30 knots at one point yesterday. I didn't think this would ever happen, but it's dropped just like the report said it would. So let's get out there and hopefully, confidently, let's go catch a fish after this wave. Oh, roundabout now looks pretty good. Successful launch. Got a bit of a dream run there in the end, which is nice. You like dream runs. Not even really wet. I don't think the hair's wet at all, so that's good. It's a rare. Mate, it is a cracker of a day. Look at that. Who would have thought it would go from so bad to so good over the span of about 6 hours at night. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And the thing on the kayak is quite often I'll be winding and I'll accidentally turn around and I'll be trying to grab fish on this side and I'll turn around and I'll have my reel under the water like that, and all I do is I get home and I spray it off and it's not an issue. Got the 2500. I'm very excited about using this. Nice spool of line. I ended up putting 20 pound on it because I want to use this maybe for some jacks and trout and things. Definitely a nice small light reel that I can use a lot, but still with enough pulling power to have that kind of braid on it, and actually enough drag to deal with like a bigger fish. So this could be a very, very fun light reel, and I can see why so many people were waiting for it. Okay, guess we get onto the bait reef. See if we can find these liveys. Let's pop the bait tank. Something about this kayak, like I love boat fishing, but kayak just has everything at my fingertips. Something about it that's just definitely enjoyable, and I love a paddle. And I'm damn unfit at the moment, even just getting through that surf then. It had me huffing and puffing. So we better do more paddling. Anyway, let's find this bait reef, get a couple of livers on board, and then we can drift way out wide is really the order of the day if we want to catch a decent snapper at this area. So good maybe 6 or 7 k's out, maybe, but we'll try and find them a lot closer in than that. Yeah, we found the reef, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of activity on it at the moment, which is a bit disappointing. I wonder what's going on. Definitely not a lot of bait on it. But we'll drop this guy down, we'll see if we can find something anyway. If not, we'll head a bit further out. We can find bait further out. But I was hoping to get it here. Oh, there's something. Tighten the drag a bit. First fish on the slammers. Not big. And it is a little yucca, the perfect bait. Okay, let's get this open. You! It's not a bad size yucca. He will do very nicely. So, first fish on the reel on the 2000. Okay, in you go. Oh! Nice. Okay, a few more of them and we'll move on. Oh. Caught something slightly bigger on the old bait jig. What have we got here? First proper fish. It's a little Trevor. Nice little trevally. We'll be letting you go, mate, but it's not a bad fish. Oh, okay. Well, he's gone, but that was fun. Probably not quite the bait I was hoping for. Bit big. Be great for a shark or a... Oh, look, plenty of big fish would take that, but it's not really the goal. He won't troll quite as well. Line that up a bit high. Ooh, slimy. Big slimy as well. That's the primo bait right there. We definitely found the school of bait. Oh, and look at what they're feeding on. This tiny other little bait. Little white bait. Okay, one more drop and I think we'll be good to go. Because there's definitely bait in numbers just here. You can see on the sounder, there's no lack of bait just on this spot. I think it's another yucca fest, but that's alright. We've got the one big slimy, we'll have him on the trial out, get out to the snapper grounds, and I think we are good for bait. Sorry guys. Quickly pop a bait on now that we're sort of in just at the edge of the beginning of the proper reef here. And we'll have to slow down our pace a little bit, but what it means is we're in the running for a much bigger fish, and then we'll start flicking the plastic around as well, see if we can find something. But yeah, hopefully the first bait will do the trick. We're using our A game with the slimy out there. Get a little bit of distance between me and him and we'll see if something goes off. Might as well have a quick drop with the plastics. There's a little mark, not typically where I'd have a go, but you never know. So I'm looking at that coloured braid, looking for the changing colours. So I've gone from a dark purple to a slightly more maroony purple. And I'm drifting out a bit, which I don't like. But I don't want to take my hand off the reel at this very second, because I'm getting to that sort of point where it's getting down to the bottom. Give it a couple of little jiggles, and then we'll just bend it back in. We don't want to give our other bait too much time down the bottom. So we'll move on. Down the bottom, sometimes where say bigger fish like jewfish and cobia can hang, but it's also you got a much higher chance of getting a reef shark. But we can get them anywhere through the water column as well, so, and any other kind of shark, which we don't really want. So we'll move on. We'll just keep dropping on little spots like that, and we'll just start heading further and further out. And hopefully we can get some fish before we get right out. But if not, then the snapper grounds further out are sort of a good place to start for a... Don't really get the big snapper here, but obviously the places I'd like to go to get my bigger snapper closer in are all under lockdown. Tweed has gone back into lockdown, which is just over the border here, so there's no crossing the border. And let's see if we can find one a little closer in here. Typically they're not as big here. A lot of pan-sized snapper, very rarely big ones, but you never know. And hopefully a big longtail or something will come along and grab that live bait at the same time. We've got a taker here. Well, that's what we came here for. You hear a little bit of that, so... Whoa, it's got some speed. Jeez. Okay. Let's tighten up a bit more on him. Okay. Yep, we got something. Feels like a decent size as well. Gonna have to tighten up a bit, aren't we? It's definitely taken a bit of a drag there. It's nice to hear the drag. We better make some line back. We'll pull the kayak closer to him. Had a bit of pace then, actually. Hopefully a little bit too much pace for a shark. Most likely maybe tuna then in that case. What a beautiful... Geez, that line goes on a lot smoother. Feels like it's oh, here we go. He's got me going at almost 5 k's an hour there for a second. We're going with the swell as well. Very nice. Now ground back for a second. What is this going to be? A lot of pace, maybe too much pace for something like a cobra or dewey. Definitely the right pace for a tuna, so hopefully we're in the running for a tuna. Hopefully not a mac tuna, but hey, whatever is going to get this reel turning. So we ended up getting I think I put 38 pound on this reel, so we've got a bit of pulling power. And if anyone saw that live stream, they know that this braid don't break easy. Oh, he's coming back up. Okay, we're making some ground, but we still got quite a bit of line out. And we're only in like, we're under 20 meters of water, so. And it seems like he's going straight down. Bizarre. Oh, it'll be interesting to see how this rod goes. I'm keen, because that's something that we did have a problem with in the live stream. I want to keep this rod from high sticking. Good bend there, look at that. Alright, where's he taking me? Okay, we're going back around that way. Might just wind that right up, get that out of the way. Whatever it is, not a bad fish. I'm starting to feel a bit of a bounce on the rod. But we're going to take our time, is what we're going to do. Tighten up a little bit, I guess. Dangerous games. How tight's too tight? As long as we're making some ground and he's not getting too much, and there's no point in rushing. We want to get this fish up so we can have a look at it. I'll tell you that's a bouncy rod now. If he starts giving up around now, we'll call it for a mac tuna. Hopefully we've got a nice long tail or a yellowfin. That'll be a bit nicer, and the family will be very happy with that. Sashimi wise, unstoppable, huh? I'm not going that light on him. What is this rod again? Let's have another look again. What did I end up picking? I picked, so this is an 8 to 15 kilo rod, so it's no slouch. He's coming back up a bit though, which is interesting. See what we end up with here. Definitely got some maybe tuna bounce now. Seems like he's given up a bit. He's starting to put some circle work in, and he's gotten a lot lighter all of a sudden. So he feels like he's gassed out a bit. Could be looking at a mac tuna here, but hopefully longtail. Okay, I got colour. A little bit of colour. What have we got? Please be something we can eat. As you all know, I'm not really a catch and release fisherman. Usually once I've got them, I keep them if they're edible and I stop fishing. So this could be the one to stop fishing on. What have we got? Could be longtail. Got some good colour then. Ooh, yeah, I think it is a longtail. Oh, or is it a mac tuna? Can't get a good angle on him. It's a mac tuna. Damn. For a sec there I thought we had a keeper. Look, you can keep these guys. Very bloody meat, but good sashimi. Don't go that way. Don't go that way. Come on. Woo. Not a bad size one though. Let's get that drag off. Okay. Okay. With this kind of fish, I really don't want to get him out for too long. No. Come on. I'm trying to do it quick. Okay, hook is out. Nice hook up. That's one of the reasons why I just like to use a single treble. Gets the shot, but nice mac tuna on the new reel. Can't complain about that, eh? Just fire him back in and he's off. It's a pity that wasn't a longtail. Definitely not a bad fish fight-wise. And you know what, if it was smaller, I do keep those every now and then. They're good sashimi, but one that size, it's just getting it a little bit big. Not every member of my family enjoys mac tuna that much. Yeah, but Slammer did the job, no problems. Oh, I get him? I think I did get him, but I think it's a rock cod. The old poor man's lobster, by the feeling of it. The way he's just being towed up to the surface. Very little movement. What have we got here? Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. I did see, you could see how my bait went down. Whoa! You can see how my plastic went down on the sounder, and then you can see someone came up to meet it. And it was this guy. The old rock cod kit. So, got to watch out for these guys because those top spines are very, very painful. So we don't want that. It's only a small one. So we definitely, these are actually quite nice to eat. Very tasty, nice white flesh, but at this size, not really worth it. So yeah, not quite the fish we're looking for. There he goes. See you, mate. Yeah, one maybe 3 times the size, or a little snapper. Love a little pan-sized snapper around here. They do occur. They are here somewhere. They're a lot harder to find, but yeah, we'll keep at it. Hopefully we can find one zipping around. Feels like I got another rock cod. Dead weight. It's just like pulling up a plastic bag. What do we got here? Yep. Yeah, slightly bigger. Alright, bro, alright. Slightly bigger, but definitely still not really the prize catch. None of the prize catches we were hoping to get on the new reels, but you know what? That's alright. It's alright, we're getting stuff. And this is just a test run. There'll be plenty more big fish to come, but yeah, I'll quickly flick you off, mate. Here we go. See you later. Don't ruin my plastic. Ah, still in good shape. Look at that. Damn, we had a bit of an inquiry then. Maybe I should have just left it for a bit. Maybe we'll just leave it just for a second longer. I think the bait might be gone. Okay, we'll wind it in and we'll see what we're left with. No hook up, but we'll see what state our bait's in. Maybe it'll indicate what we lost. Okay, so something just definitely had a bite of the back of the bait there when it was floating past. So we can put another bait out. Unfortunately we missed the hook up. Wonder what it was, hey? And we'll put another one on and we'll see how we go. Come on. Snap feeding in the water column. That'd be the dream. I'm getting almost there now. Getting to the business end of where I've got to sort of pay attention. Hopefully someone will come up and meet it. Come on. Will we get the love? It doesn't look like we're going to. There's marks on the sounder though. We're nowhere near the snapper grounds that I wanted to head to though, so we're only about halfway really. Yeah, I think we're on the bottom, so no love. Well, we've got something. It's not going to be big. What's this going to be? Some kind of bottom dweller, I'd say. I don't think it's a rock cod. He's got a bit of a wriggle on. It is not big though. Hey, what do you know? Look who it is. It's a flatty. Big. Wow, that's cool. Always a welcome sight to see a flathead come up. All right, mate. Maybe we'll get the pliers and get him off. Just to save us. They do have spikes on the side of their gills. But that's not a bad. I didn't really. Could have stayed in the inshore for that, but yeah, nice to get a little flatty. Anyway, we'll try and get him off without hurting him. There we go, mate. See you later, buddy. Beauty. Yeah, slightly bigger and he'd be coming home, I'd say, because flathead are actually delicious fish. You've probably seen them. We've definitely had them in previous videos. But I think, yeah, as nice as it is out there, I can feel the wind has switched around, and now that it's coming from the north, sort of west, it means it'll continue to progressively get stronger. So I don't want to get caught out too far out. So I'm not going to head further out. I'll head in and then maybe we'll see if we can catch a wave if I'm feeling confident. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next video. Anyway, let's do the paddle in. Maybe 1 or 2 drops. Now, there's not much of a wave to catch. It's probably just as well.